everyone, my name is Steph, this is the Novelty Corner and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be reading like it is my job. So last year Shae did one of these videos where she read manga like it was her job. So she took her working hours and spent that time reading as many manga volumes as she could. I'm going to take the same concept and I'm going to be reading books because it's holidays, or why not, I have the time to do this. And it's kind of interesting to see sort of how much I can read within my working hours. So to that end, it is just on 8:15. I would normally start my workday, like technically my official working hours are from 8:40 a.m. till 4:40 p.m. So I'm going to work within that time frame, and within there I would probably have a 15-minute break and a half an hour break. So I'm going to start at 8:40. I'm going to read to 11:40, which is usually the first break that we have at work. That's our lunch break. Take a 15-minute break, come back, start reading again until 1:50, which is the start of our afternoon break, and take a half an hour break then, just because that works for me. And I will stop and show you the time on my phone as I go along. And yeah, so when I was trying to come up with what exactly I was going to read during this vlog, because it could have gone many ways. I could have just started anywhere. But some of you may have seen that just before the new year, I posted a poll on my YouTube community page and also on Instagram, which had 4 options. And I kind of didn't give any context with this poll. I just put up 4 options and told people to pick something at random. There was shortest books, review books, middle grade books, and longest books. And wouldn't you know, longest books won because people hate me. You know, I very nearly didn't put that on my list, so this is my own fault. And Instagram liked me a little bit better than YouTube because Instagram people actually, I think in the end, it was neck and neck for shortest and longest books. But when I add all the totals together, longest books won overall. So we're gonna read the longest books I have on my TBR. Well, the longest books I have on my TBR for January. So everything that I said I was going to read in my January reset video, I have written on a list. Yes, I could have this digitally, and I do have it digitally, but a list is so much easier because I get the satisfaction of crossing things off as I read them. Also, I like color coding and highlighting things. So according to this, aside from Rookie Mistake, which is for an annotation vlog, so I'm not going to use it in this video, and Rock Chick, which I am not ready to read yet because I've got another read along currently happening and I just don't want to mix up my thoughts. The longest book that I have left on this TBR is One Time Only by Lauren Blakely, which I had written down had 406 pages. When I opened it up on my Kindle, it had 486 pages because apparently there is a bonus novella in there. So that is well and truly the longest book I have on that list. And I also have The Impossible Secret of Lillian Velvet by Jacqueline Moriarty, which is a middle grade title. This one is over 500 pages long, but because it's middle grade, it tends to read a little bit faster. So I'm going to start off with One Time Only, see how far I get into that, and then probably use this as my second book. So that will give me nearly 1,000 pages if I can read them in these hours that I would normally be working. So yes, that is the plan today. Wish me luck. I have 20 minutes until I need to start. I'm going to make a smoothie and do a couple of bits and pieces, and then I will check in with you as I start at 8:40. Okay, it's nearly 8:40, so we will be starting One Time Only, which is an MM romance, I believe. So Rockstar and Bodyguard MM romance. So I don't believe I have read Lauren Blakely before, and I'm pretty sure I picked this up possibly during Stuff Your Kindle Day or something like that. So it will be interesting to try it. I do have my smoothie. I have shown these in a couple of vlogs recently. It is basically half a frozen banana, some frozen blueberries, some frozen strawberries, some Greek yogurt, and milk, in this case whatever was left of my actual dairy milk, and then the rest is vanilla almond milk. I also think I've got a couple of deliveries coming today, which will be interesting. If they turn up, I will share them in here. Alrighty, we are at 8:39. That's Benny, if you have never seen him before. He is a gorgeous fluff ball. I'm going to start reading. I'll probably do check-ins at every 25% if I remember. Okay, I thought I would do a really quick check-in because I just finished the novella that is at the start of One Time Only. So the novella is called Maybe This Time. It's 125 pages, so it's 9:06. So that gives you a bit of a sense of my reading speed. Anyway, it sort of introduces the 2 main characters for One Time Only, which is Jackson, who is a bodyguard who is hired to be the nighttime bodyguard for a very famous singer called Stone. And they get along really great. They've got a similar sense of humor, they banter a lot, and they are both attracted to one another, and they can't do anything about it. Like they know they can't do anything about it. So the novella is just very short. It sort of just sets up how they meet, how Jackson gets the job, and setting up sort of the dynamic between the two of them. So I am about to start one time only, and I will continue to do fairly regular check-ins. Okay, it's 9:42. I am 30% of the way into the ebook, so it's just, I forget how much the novella was, so it's about 15-20% more. No, that doesn't even make sense. Anyway, I just thought I'd do a quick check-in. So it actually makes sense to have the novella at the start of this book because it just felt like it flowed really easily into the story. So we kick off in Las Vegas, and the thing that you need to know about Stone is that he's very much this very golden retriever, excitable, puppy-like guy. Like, he's just utterly delightful. He has an ego, but he's not egotistical. He knows he's a great performer. He loves people. Like, he genuinely likes people, and he just can't help but be attracted to Jackson. And Stone is bisexual. He just enjoys having sex. But in this hotel room in Las Vegas where we start, like it's in the first or second chapter, he and Jackson have this moment, and it's really intense. And you know, we've already established their working relationship, and Jackson puts a stop to it because, not because he isn't enjoying it, but because he's working. This sort of sends Stone into a bit of a tailspin where he decides that he's going to prove to Jackson that he can, well, he's not going to stop flirting with anyone or everyone because that's just his personality, but he's going to back off, and I think he goes for a month without sleeping around. So where we've got up to chapter 9, they're just about to head back to Las Vegas for a 2-week residency that has been organised for Stone to play at one of the hotels there. So it's very, very interesting. Like, it's very easy to read. Like, I'm speeding through it, so I'm at 30%. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the characters. I'm enjoying the dynamics. And Jackson is a really wonderful character as well. We've sort of just learnt that his previous partner died a few years earlier, and that his previous partner was, I forget what the term is, he was like a thrill seeker who did stunts for YouTube, and one of those stunts killed him. And Jackson misses the good times that he had with him, but not the fact that towards the end of their relationship, he was just begging his former partner to stop with the risk taking, and, you know, now has to deal with the fallout of everything that happened with his partner. I'm gonna see where this goes. I'm at 56% of the way into the story. There's a lot of stuff building between these two. They've finally sort of talked about Jackson's previous partner. Stone has talked a little bit about his relationship, or lack thereof, with his father, and the relationship that he has with his younger brother, who has just come on as part of the show. And, you know, Jackson and Stone keep trying to give one another up, and that just clearly doesn't work for them. I'm really enjoying sort of the character dynamics and the banter between the two of them, and then just the build up to this relationship. I want to say I hope it doesn't get messy, but of course it is going to get messy. We know that, but I'm enjoying it so far. Okay, it's 11:40. There is construction noise still going on, so I am going to stop. I'm at 95%. I'm in the epilogue for one time only, but I will be back hopefully when there's a little bit of a break in the noise to update you. Okay, so I actually just decided to finish off the epilogue because the noise was still going, so I just read for another 15 minutes. And again, this book has so many epilogues. It just goes on and on, but it was kind of sweet. Like, I don't care. And it does end up with the two of them having, adopting a kid, but it was like the last 2 pages, so it was kind of cute. I really enjoyed this. It was rather sweet. And yes, there is a breakup in the third act, but it's a breakup for the two of them to figure out how they can be together without compromising themselves. And I think the thing that I really appreciated in this story was just how good their open communication was the whole way through the book. They're always talking to each other. They're always honest. As soon as Jackson realizes he really can't do the relationship while he is in the role as Stone's bodyguard, like he cannot keep doing it because it compromises everything he stands for in terms of the work that he does. He is very clear about that, and Stone recognizes that it's not because Jackson is playing him or that he doesn't want to be with him, but there is a concern there, and he knows that the only way that they're going to get through it is if he lets him walk away at that time. So while I will happily accept no third act breakups in any romance ever, I would rather it be that there is open communication and it's not someone doing something really dodgy or something to hurt the other person, if it's going to be about buying time and trying to figure out exactly what's going to happen next. I thoroughly enjoyed this. This was really interesting. Part of the ongoing epilogue set up sort of, I think, what must be the second book in the series, which is a sports baseball romance, I'm imagining. This was great. Great banter, great characters, very steamy scenes, and just a lot of fun, and a great grand gesture. Like, truly great grand gesture. I'm going to go and have a 15-minute break. I will definitely find some food. I will be starting this brick. Okie dokie, it is 12:10. We are going to start The Impossible Secret of Lillian Velvet. This is the 5th book in the Kingdoms and Empires series. It is a middle grade fantasy series written by Jacqueline Moriarty, who is related to Leanne Moriarty. I love this because this has illustrations by Kelly Canby, who is a picture book author and illustrator who I love. Timeless was a picture book that I absolutely loved reading by Kelly Canby last year, so her work just is amazing. We're going to get started. The Kingdoms and Empires series is all connected, but we follow different characters or different main characters in each book. And yeah, I'm interested to see how this intersects with the other books in the series. And it's been a while since I've dived back into this world. So yeah, I will check in probably around 125 pages or so. This is just over 500. So yeah, we'll play it by ear. Alright, it's 1:50. I am about to go put some lunch in the oven. I am 366 pages into The Impossible Secret of Lillian Velvet, and she keeps being thrust forwards and backwards in time into the Kingdoms and Empires world, and she is meeting various members of the Metalstone family and friends, which is how this entire thing is connected. And what we find out is that the parents of the Metalstone, so Bronte's grandparents, went missing a long time ago, and all of the Metalstones have come back together because they're due back. And lots of strange things have been happening. People have been attacked by shadow magic and shadow storms and things like that. And Lillian keeps popping up in their timeline when people need to be helped. So various members of the family have met her throughout time. Bronte's mother, Leda, met her when she was 15, whereas Bronte has met her in the current time for Bronte, and so on and so forth. So they don't know whether Lillian is a hero or a villain in their story. Lillian is still trying to work out what's going on, so like there's a lot of intrigue, and I only have a little bit left, but it's lunchtime and I desperately need to eat food. So I am going to put, I think I've got a quesadilla in the freezer. I think I'll put that in, and at 2:30 I will continue reading. Also, a bunch of mail turned up. So I was expecting like one thing and then I've got 3. So let's open them. So my new cover of Ever After Always by Chloe Leese arrived. I have started ordering the new covers from the US because you can't get them over here, so I've had to order them off Amazon US. Cover's a little beat up, but you know, it's traveled a long way and it's in pretty good condition, all things considered. So this is a diamond painting kit and it has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 little mini diamond paintings in here. I ordered this ages ago. So I just finished a really big one that I need to get framed for Miller, and I didn't really want to jump into another really big one. Like, I've got a huge one that I want to do at some point, but I thought having some little mini projects would be good. And look, they're so little. Good thing this is my, you know, lunch break. Oh my gosh, I love them. Oh. And you know what, like these would even make, like once they're done, it'd even be really good to put on the front of cards. Like, I want to keep some of them. I don't know where I'm going to put them, but they'd be great on cards. Okay, I'm really excited that that turned up today. So they're from Paint Gem. Got all the little tools and tweezers and things like that, but I have a big kit thing. And those are all the little drills. These ones I might actually have to put in the little containers I have for the kits because they're for multiple projects. But yeah. Oh. I love that. I'll definitely be doing at least 1 or 2 of these during the holidays. And then there's this one, which feels like books. Excellent. All right. That's great. These turned up on, you know, the same days. So it's the first 2 books in the Bergman Brothers series. So there's Only When It's Us and Always Only You. So now I have books 1, 2, and 3, and I have book 4 on pre-order, and then I will get the rest of the series when they release. Once I get the entire set of these, I will keep my copy of With You Forever because it's my favorite one. That's the one I'm annotated, but I will be collecting these covers because they're stunning. So noisy. 3:21, I'm finished. I'm not going to try and talk over that. I have this much left of The Year I Met My Brain. I'm going to continue reading this for the next hour and then I'll talk to you when the noise stops. So I don't know if they've finished drilling into the doors and walls out there, but they've stopped for the moment. So we're gonna talk because it is 4:25 and I finished, where did I put them? The Impossible Secret of Lillian Velvet. And I don't really want to say too much what happens and sort of what the reveal is in terms of what Lillian's secret is. She doesn't even figure it out until like this part of the book, but it was really interesting and very timey-wimey and mind-bendery, but very cool. Like, I was not expecting it to be what it was, and I was pleasantly surprised with how it played out, and particularly with the way that it ended, because poor Lillian has been through a lot in her 10 years, is what I will say. And this was really interesting. I still don't know if it needs to be this long. This is my thing with middle grade fiction. Like, I know kids love long books, and I'm going to do a discussion video about this specifically, or I've been asked to do one anyway. It is really long, and part of that is the way that Jacqueline Moriarty tells the story, because we are jumping from Lillian's perspective to those that live in the Kingdom and Empire's world, and we're getting reports from people on what's happening as well as the actual narrative of what's happening. So there's a lot of stuff that needs to go into the book, but again, it is quite a large book, so this does run the risk of being inaccessible to some students and some kids. So that's the only thing I would say is not necessarily a detractor from the book, because the book is really well written and really well told. But thinking about your audience, I think you would have to be a very capable, very confident middle grade reader who can track the plot lines in this book, because there's a lot of moving parts. And then because I finished that and still had an hour left to go, I had 124 more pages left in The Year I Met My Brain by Matilda Bosley. So I just figured I'd try and finish that off because this is one of my non-fiction reads for the year, and so I did. I won't talk too much about it in this video because it'll feature in my wrap-up, because I wasn't specifically planning on picking this up for the vlog, but I wouldn't have gotten through anything else and I might as well have finished a book that I was already partway through. So Matilda Bosley is a video journalist for The Guardian here in Australia, and I love watching her videos on TikTok. I think she is fantastic, but this is her journey with being diagnosed as an adult with ADHD. She's done a lot of research. She's talked to a lot of people working in the field of diagnosing ADHD in adults, particularly in women. She's looked at all sorts of things that pop up, like managing yourself, being in relationships. She talks a lot about the medication and people's perceptions of taking medication and side effects that might pop up and things like that. Like, it was a really interesting read. Do I sometimes sit there and go, yeah, that sounds like me? Maybe, just a little bit. Actually more than a little bit, but like, it was just very insightful and very interesting to read, and also reassuring to know that some of the things that I can and can't do, or the things that I do and can't do, there might be a potential reason for it. So in the nearly 7.5 hours that I was reading, I read 1,139 pages. So if anyone wants to know how fast my reading speed is, that's pretty much it. Contemporary romances, particularly ones that I'm reading on Kindle, I always read a lot faster. The Kingdom and Empires book probably took me longer than a normal middle grade book because there was a lot going on. There's a lot of information. I was actually pleasantly surprised by how quickly I got through the sections left in the non-fiction book, because non-fiction takes me forever to read. But I think I'm just highly motivated and whatnot to get through that particular title. So yeah, that gives you a sense of me as a reader, and I know that that is very weird. And for anyone who's asking, no, I do not read every single word on the page. I don't skim read. That's not at all what I do, but I don't read every single word on the page. And every so often I do have to stop and reread something because I realize I might have missed something. But yeah, I don't need to sit there and read every single word to be able to actually understand the story. That's just the way my brain has always worked with reading. So yes, this was kind of fun just to see. In a lot of ways it was probably good to do it with longer books rather than shorter books, even though shorter books probably meant I would have had a little bit more variety to talk about. But as I said, I had very different long books which all affected reading pace and how I actually approach reading them. So yes, I hope you guys found this interesting. It's just another way of doing a vlog. If you're interested in me doing another one of these at any point, let me know. I was considering doing the how much can you read in 24 hours sort of style, but that might be another holiday project later in the year. If you got this far into the video, thank you for sticking around. I hope that you enjoyed it. I'll leave links to all of the books down below if you want to find out more information. If you just want to let me know that you're here but you don't want to leave a comment, feel free to leave a star emoji of any kind down below, and I hope that wherever you're in the world you're staying safe and healthy, and I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone.